it's one that's possibly considered. If we say we don't have any items, do you understand what I'm saying?
I think we have to vote a capital plan and submit it, and if it's postponed,
Right.
at least the plan has been submitted and it's the plan that's postponed.
There's, I'm actually not clear on that. That's part of the reason why I put it out here. That's that thinking. The tradition has been that we've always submitted the capital and approved it, been asked to submit it. We've not been asked. We're told that there will be no capital decisions made in April. So but what I don't know, whether or not it'll show up, as an article, a traditional capital article in April, and then
Passed over.
passed over. And so I would not want to see that published without any
Without our
items.
items on it.
Yeah, so,
And the field is listed only, oh wait.
We have a
it's-
0 and 9.
Yeah.
well, this has not been updated since
Okay.
a year ago.
I think we should vote at 09 capital with the understanding that we'll be asked to postpone it to October.
Well, if that's the case, we need to go through the FY09 full. And,
There's only a few of them that are listed.
well, I'm gonna start out with item number 1, because this, again, is not updated, but I would say we should put money in here for building security.
Right. I think it's expected that we would have one every year for 3 years.
I'd say 150 would be in there.
You want to vote on them separately?
I don't think.
Well,
I'd like to know what the full list is before we start.
okay.
So I would change that F109 from 0 to 150.
Okay.
Sure.
The items listed in FY09 were those that we had voted almost a year ago, so in all cases, we may not still want these here. Number 2, furniture. We had discussed about a year ago the wisdom of placing furniture warrant money every second year in large capital. I hasten to add, however, that since that time, the view has been that large capital should be more than $10,000. So I'm not sure if that's an official number, but I think the finance committee has been of the view that large capital should be larger than that amount. We used to put furniture in the capital every single year, and for many years it passed. I don't think there's been furniture money in large capital since for 3 or 4 years now. So I would probably recommend taking it out at this point. Number 3, as you know, the technology plan does call for investment annually of $60,000. We do have $60,000 for the current fiscal year, FY08. We're intending to use it as a lease. And the vote was that we would invest $60,000 annually to keep current. Should just go through all of them at this point?
Yeah.
Well, how does that work, Carl? You mean, if you take a 3-year lease, are you then stuck for the next 2 years needing $60,000 just to pay the lease?
That's how we do it.
Well, if
So
you
you
get
wanna leave it at-
$60,000 this year, then you're gonna need another $60,000 if you use it for a lease.
We haven't, okay, number 4, little school. As we all know, the Beaver Little School has asbestos in the ceiling tile. There have been no issues, there are no current safety concerns, but because that was not taken care of in the project there, we would like to take care of it. So the goal there was to remove, abate all of the asbestos in the Beaver ceiling tile. I'll pause at number 6 because that was the middle school.
Would that complete the asbestos removal in the middle school?
Number 4 and 10 for the floor, right?
That would just be the ceiling tile.
Right. 10 would be
That would complete the ceiling, okay.
Number 6 was postponed from FY08, so I just note that that is out there as well, $150,000 for the middle school athletic field. Moving down to number 9.
Susan, so we're saying put that in?
Yeah,
Number 9, I think we can postpone. Number 9 was the 2001 pickup truck. The vehicle was maintained well and still operating well, so I think we can put that off 1 year at this stage. Number 11 was the window replacement here at the middle school, replacing the single pane with more energy efficient windows. This is one of many capital projects that you're gonna start seeing in the middle and the high school.
That's one I just, we've been putting these things off for so many years, and I just don't know how much longer we can go, at least not putting new windows in part of the building, or, because we're defeating some of your efforts to save energy costs by having inefficient windows in the entire building. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the committee feels, but it just seems like every year we say, well, we'll put that off until we get a new school. By 2020, we'll still have the same windows. We might have a new school.
well, I don't ever
Or
see
2015.
the town having that kind of money to use on windows.
Right.
Is there a way we could break the project down? I mean, if this were my home, I'd start thinking one window at a time. Because you want to keep moving towards energy efficiency.
Well, the answer to that question is the same answer that we would give for number 11, number 12, number 13,
Yep.
number 14, number 15, number 16. And for the public, these are all major capital enhancements to the middle and high school. And some of the things that we're probably passing over, in addition to energy efficient windows, is the asbestos abatement project here in the middle school. Most of the tile in this entire building is asbestos tile. And it's not a good idea to have 35-year-old asbestos tile throughout the building, so you'd like to abate as much of it as you could. We talk about needing an elevator in this middle school. I'm not gonna sit here and advocate for the addition of an elevator in the middle school, but you could make a case that it's a legitimate, logical thing to do, given access concerns.
Yeah.
Same thing with the hot water system in the middle school. It's an energy inefficient system, it's on its last legs, it's 42 years old. So, I think that one of the purposes of listing these capital items in this large capital list is to make all of us aware that as time goes on, we're gonna start having to pick and choose some very expensive projects. We did do the boiler here in the middle school a couple of years ago. That was an excellent project. We prefer not to because we'd rather have a newer renovated building. So, I think it's probably logical to move the window replacement out again, but I think it's important for the public and us, all of us to know that items of this nature can't be put aside forever.
Well, you didn't mention, and I know part of this is part of what Mrs. Blacker mentioned earlier, the sewage treatment plant, or the septic system for the high school and the middle school, which we have ongoing concerns about on an annual, quarterly, monthly basis, which we have to pump more than we should. And now the town is moving forward with a plan that may be on the warrant in April, which would eventually address the center of town. But that's another one of those things that just really worries me that we continue to put off. Especially talk about safety and health issues.
Yeah.
You can't get much more than that.
We funded the wastewater plant tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not gonna be for a number.
We would never, the system would never last till the hookup time.
Right, they're talking about mainly,
Well, you know,
Martin's
Martin's
Pond and
Pond
Concord,
area.
and Concord Street area for the businesses in Main Street. That's what the,
In Main Street, yes, and it would increase the businesses, and that's
Right.
when you can talk about splitting the tax rate. So that's a
Right.
long-term benefit for the town that has to be considered as long too.
We didn't really do a report in Sunbury School Building Committee, but the committee is trying to review what its charter ought to be at this point with everything going on in the state. And one of the questions that has come up is whether something like this ought to be put, move forward just as a special project because of its importance.
As a standalone project,
Yeah.
just a capital improvement.
So that's something the SS,
That's a really wise idea.
you see what you're looking at.
Okay, so I think we're recommending that number 11 be moved
9
back.
through 16.
Yes, yeah.
And I guess the same thing goes for number 13, which was moved last year. And the same thing goes for number 15. Again, we're
Well, I'm not
continuing-
sure about that one myself. Are we holding that together with duct tape and prayers, or is that?
Well, the hot water system at the middle school is a storage system. It's not it's a storage system, which means that you're keeping the hot water hot all the time, even if you don't need it. And frankly, what we've been doing in the summer, the last several summers, is turning it off. Because it's so inefficient. It's a 40-year-old uninsulated water treatment tank, not water, water storage tank. And it's not the manner in which you keep, you don't, it's not a hot water burner system. It's you store water in a container.
And if we replace this, is it likely that it would be lost if we renovated the building, or
Not
would
at
it
all.
be preserved?
No,
So this is an investment then that would not be wasted.
no, it wouldn't. As similar to the boiler that was replaced several years ago,
Yeah.
assuming that that section could be salvaged.
That part, yeah.
That part of the building
Right.
is salvaged. I mean, if this section is raised in a future project, I'm not sure what the nature of that equipment is.
Given the remarks of the engineer, I think we should keep this on the list this year.
Thank you. With that?
Which one, the-
I'm just one person, I'd like to.
It's gotta, I agree, it's gotta be terribly inefficient too, in addition to being old in terms of cost, I would think, right, Carl? The cost of running that?
It is. I mean, you're keeping several hundred gallons of water at temperature 24/7.
All the time, right.
When
Makes no sense.
that's not how you keep water any longer.
Right.
You either have tankless or you have hot water heaters.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Moving on to page 2.
There is.
I'm assuming, I think that the decision
It's
number
not
15
voted.
was to keep it in FY09.
Right, yeah.
The next FY09 listing on page 2 is the renovation of the nurse's office at the middle school. Many of you know that the original nurse's office was actually in another location of the building. And the current nurse's office here is just inadequate in terms of privacy, in terms of space, in terms of accessibility. And there's long been a hope that a renovated building would provide more suitable nursing facilities.
I think I should stay.
I agree with Norm.
That situation we have now, which is not.
Yeah, even if that ended up getting lost.
Right.
It's $25,000 to make the nurse's office accessible to
Right.
people, or. Can you get a wheelchair into the nurse's office right now? I know you can't get a gurney in there.
I believe you can.
That's for Master Bill.
But then, now the master bell system's only 10,000, again, that's not.
Just so David and Carl both know, did they all agree to keep that on?
The nurse's office, I think.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Again,
Of course, we have to get rid of the nurse.
That's a good
Only,
point.
only 20% of it.
Right. So we'll do 80% of the office then.
Cell system, this is just, it's more than an aggravation, it's an unusual situation. It's based on a perpetual clock. And as we moved into